Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another HCW Show Squared, the show where we take the usual format or formula of the defunct HCW Show podcast that has the power of, you guessed it, 2. I'm your host of these as normal, Dan, DP, or as we all say around the hood, D-P-Z, yeah. And I am of course joined by someone who's doing a sort of, I guess, a marathon, I guess is the right word for it, because he's planning to do this stream, then watch Friday Night SmackDown, and then watch TNA pay-per-view against the odds. So before we get into this, let's talk about the marathon and how you're feeling, how you're prepared for it. It's of course Mr. Impact Craig. How you doing?
You know me, it's that M-I-C, Craig aka Mr. Impact. And yes, a busy few hours ahead, a lot of wrestling. I mean, it's even longer than you thought. Because this morning I watched TNA, or this afternoon I watched TNA. Then, yeah, and also you got Clash at the Castle tomorrow, and I'm gonna try at some point squeeze in the GCW show from Denver. So yeah, but it's what we do. It's the name of the game, wrestling fans. Yeah. But I'm excited, and yeah, but I mean, what a week it's been for NXT.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yes, indeed. It's been a week and a bit that we will get into. But yeah, I think as they say, the only way to begin is by beginning. So we'll kick things off with Battleground, and we'll go into the weekly TV show afterwards. Recording this as well, our line was a bit different because we're recording this instead of a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, it's Friday night. So, I'm a bit brighter, a bit more pale, a bit more Caspery. And you've got Craig, who, to be fair, his camera looks the same. You couldn't really tell what time of day it was.
No, I've got big light on, I've got ring light on, and they match the tones. So.
Perfect. Mine does not. I look like I've seen a ghost.
You should see the lights off. Oh,
Go on.
you see me with the lights off.
Go on. Turn it off.
Oh, really? Okay.
You started it. You started it. Ooh.
Yeah, lights do me a favour. I can't. If I turn the light off, I'll see nothing. I'll just mess it up. No, I think it's alright.
No,
I don't know if it's the right light still.
No, you're good. But no. So yes, let's get started with Battleground. It was a PLE or pay-per-view, whatever, and it was a big show. So let's just get things going. So we kick things off with the host of the show and potential felon, Sexy Red. And I've taken, because I watch it with subtitles. I don't know why. I just do it. It's what I've done for years. It's what I'm used to. And of course they're live ones because it's not really one of those shows where it's like you can have it pre-done. So she kicks things off by saying, "Hey everybody, what's up? It's your favourite." Completely missed it. Sexy motherfucking Red, and welcome to the NXT Battleground. And that's a direct quote from our subtitles. It said, "Hey everybody, what's up? It's your favourite ? Sexy motherfucking Red."
Yeah,
She's sort of slurring in her talking, like.
I paid zero attention to that. Like, I saw. Okay, let's get the show going. Come on, more important thing to be doing.
I would agree, but she does do something else, and she twerks. She twerks, does a little split-legged ring thing. I don't know. She didn't even do a song. Like, this is a PLE, and she's like the host for it. She's a rapper, and she didn't do one of her songs.
I don't think she was even the NXT Loud theme.
No.
What's the point?
Exactly. What was the point?
And then it turns out she's been in a brawl in an airport.
Yeah. I mean, that was revealed after the fact, but it was revealed after the fact that before the show, she was involved in some sort of airport scrap with someone.
It's
It's bizarre,
mate.
and I don't, because WWE knew it beforehand as well. Like they had to have known
Yeah.
beforehand.
Another claim they didn't,
I,
but that's what we do.
I feel like WWE would have paid for her travel because she's there on their request, sort of. So
maybe,
but
it's wild.
It's wild, absolutely. But let's move on from that because she's coming back later on. We can kick things off with the NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match, which is still a mouthful to say out loud. We had Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, Mishin, Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, and Kalani Jordan. To recap, you said Mishin for predictions for this, and I said Fallon Henley. And we were both wrong.
Yeah.
The winner was Kalani Jordan. She hits her one of a kind split leg moonsault onto Mishin, who's on a ladder, before climbing and grabbing the title from another ladder. I rated the match 3 stars, and don't get me wrong, when I say this, I'm a lover of the ladder match in general. I love ladder matches. They're my second favourite thing behind Battle Royals and Royal Rumbles. This match just didn't hit it for me. Like this is one of the weaker ladder matches I think I've seen, and I've seen a lot of ladder matches. Like it didn't have many memorable spots. It had one, which is dangerous, which is we'll get to that in a minute, but it was very dangerous. I just feel like it's one of the matches that will be like, oh, it happened, you know. Like people always think back to the inaugural North American men's title match at NXT Takeover, whatever it was. And you had like like Ricochet, you had EC3, you had like I think Big Damo's in there. Like just that match itself is like elite tier. Like they Adam Cole, that's an elite tier ladder match. And then this just didn't hit the same. But I don't know if I'm putting like my expectations from the men's one onto this, or if it's just because I didn't really enjoy this one by itself. But what did you think about the match?
Decent. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm big into ladder matches. You know, but I also have to remember that the majority of the people in this match have never competed in a ladder match before, and they've only just been wrestling. Some of them because a couple come from the NIL. So I mean, it was a very good match. Sol Ruka was the MVP of the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kalani Jordan surprised me, but I'm not mad because I think it just show me why you put that faith in it, and I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I did like the spot of where they all picked up. Who did they pick up? Lash, and then dumped outside, and that was I did let the made me chuckle to that.
I think in the moment I was like, "Oh, okay, they're gonna throw her onto the ladder. Oh, that's quite cool." And then they throw her to the outside, and she falls like rib first into a ladder that doesn't break. So she's essentially just a full-on hard bump on her ribs on a ladder. which
Uh,
to me made me
I
cringe a lot because I just thought, like, why wouldn't it break? Why wouldn't you have that ladder there set up to break like that? Like,
yeah, like my immediate thought was WrestleMania, that ladder match where the ladder outside was made of wood.
yeah,
That and also like the arena looked cool, but the lack of space was like, oh, someone's gonna get hurt here, and Booker T very nearly did
yeah, he did, yeah.
in the first
And
match.
that is something that a lot of people do mention as well, like on Twitter and online. It was like a very like the space between the barricade and the ring was smaller compared to how it would be on like the other arena that they use, like the main one that they use.
Mm.
Which I feel like what's called that off the top of my head, but that arena.
It's in the PC, but it's called something else now, isn't it?
Yeah, I
The
can't remember the name of
CWC.
it fully. Oh, yeah, there, thank you. The Cruiser Classic. So we, as you said, yeah, Sol Ruka was absolutely the star of this. Like, she was probably the odds-on favorite to win this match, and honestly, for good reason. We were all looking at some sort of soul snatcher in some sort of kooky, fun way. She hits like 2 or 3 in quick succession as well. It
Yeah,
wasn't the case like when she was setting up the move. She just sort of ran towards the corner or ran towards the ladder, and just jumped instantly for it and went for it and hit it perfectly. Like, the move is so good now. Like, if
yeah,
anything from this match, that move will become immortalized because of that. Like, because of just the fluidity and the smoothness of it.
yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, but I like it. I like it a lot.
But yeah, other than that, obviously, the main other things were like Mishin's. You know, as we all know, Mishin's pretty good. When she's booked, she's pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit.
She, but yeah, as a whole, for me, it would just be like, oh, it happened. But yeah, Kalani winning is a surprise as well. Like, I didn't have that on the cards. I think I had her ruled out as one of the ones to win it personally because I thought she was a bit too new to win
Yeah,
this. But you know, they're taking a chance, taking a shot on her. Like, absolutely go for it. Why not? Like,
yeah. Brand new champion, a brand new title. Take a risk. Why not?
exactly. It'd be interesting to see as well, like what she does now going forward with the title, and we do get a slight hint on TV. But we'll get into that.
Maybe she answers a certain open challenge.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll already know when this goes out, but
Yeah.
so,
By the
oh,
time we'll have
can
the
I enjoy
answer.
the show?
Just sort of like manifest it, like
Yeah.
happen. So yeah, we move on now to the NXT Tag Team titles. We had, of course, the OC challengers, Luke Gallows and Kyle Anderson, taking on champions Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Predictions wise, I believe we had different options here. Or do we have... No, we didn't. We had the same option. Yeah, we both had the OC because you wanted it to happen, and I didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the reasoning for the match was because the OC were begging for a title shot, and they for an action weren't budging until they were attacked unprovoked by the OC, and it's like, oh, here we are. Yeah. Nathan an action win, following an Avalanche Spanish Fly and Phoenix Splash combination on Anderson. I was so shocked by that. I did not have that happening whatsoever. Like, they promoted the absolute fuck out of the OC go everywhere and they win tag titles wherever they go. And You know, they need to win these titles, be Grand Slam champions, and etc. Like across companies and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like it, I don't know. It's a very peculiar choice, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think this might be actually one of Fraser's first official, like, clean win or defense retention.
I think it might be.
Like
Yeah.
everyone else has been some sort of distraction or some sort of roll up or something, but like this one had none
Yeah.
of that.
No. Oh. That. It seems as though, like, I was not to go too far ahead, but I've got my predictions, man. What was I thinking? Like, what was I thinking? But I genuinely thought they were going to win this.
hmm
But fair play, they
Yeah,
just said, well, no, I'm not doing that. Flip it around. And
we saw Craig's booking. We saw his predictions. We're gonna go against it.
yeah, I mean, not the best match, arguably.
hmm
Good again,
I think we both
but
know what the best match was.
yeah. But I
um,
mean, I genuinely thought they were going to do it, but hey, not to be.
not to be, no. I rated 2 and 3/4 stars. And just to compare it, because as we were doing this, Dave Meltzer and the Observer newsletter have released their ratings of Battleground. So the women's leather match, he rated 2 stars. 2. Like I know he famously does not like women's wrestling, but
Like, oh, good old Uncle Dave. So out of touch.
it's amazing. But saying that, he did rate the tag title match 3 and 1/4. So it's about
But
average, I'd say.
yeah,
Like he's not 2 out of
I mean,
5 stars. It's not over the
I'd
top.
go pretty straight through.
hmm I went under 3 stars personally because for me there's a precedent set for 3 stars and they didn't hit that here, and that's mainly because of Gallows and Anderson. I just don't like them as a team, really.
But if they would have won, I was gonna wear my Good Brothers shirt for the show.
I should have won it anyway.
Yeah, I can't find out. I don't know where it is.
uh, but no, the match just felt a bit to me like a house show match, if you know what I mean. Like it was like, hey, look at these. These guys are gonna be fighting these guys. Hey, that's kooky, right? Um, but I don't know. They tried to put it up as a main show kind of match. I am really low. That's a bit better. Um, sorry, they tried to point it off as a sort of like this is a big serious match. Like, look at these guys. Look, it's the OC. They're these main roster guys. Look at that. And then it's like, yeah, cool. Honestly, they should have had AJ there. That would have made it a bit more interesting. Like,
Yeah,
the OC,
yeah,
the OC gimmick and the OC team group faction whatever is built on AJ and Mishin. Like, Gaz and Anderson were always the henchmen to AJ. So
yeah, yeah. That's a fair shout. Ah, it.
it's weird.
Yeah, I do genuinely like the Good Brothers, the OC in general.
hmm
This match just didn't land for me that much.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like again, Fraser and Axiom, they're great. I like both of them. Anderson he's all right. Gallows, mm-mm.
But it just begs the question of who's next for Fraser and Axiom.
And that is something that I believe is answered on TV. Again, we'll get
Seems
to
that way.
it. So, move on now to something a bit more different, a bit out of the wheelhouse. As we go to NXT Underground, Shayna Baszler and the future of women's wrestling, my girl, Lola Vice. Predictions wise, I don't remember what we said.
We both went for Lola.
Did we? Okay.
I'm not knowing about it, but
Lola wins via knockout after a spinning back fist, which she calls the 305, and the side mount with the mounted punches. She wins and then does her literal taunt from Bellator. I loved it so much. Not for the reason you're thinking. It's just because I loved the callback to Bellator. Like that. That's the only reason why. I rated it 3 stars. So I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I am very disappointed as well. They were in a UFC building, and they didn't utilize an octagon. Even if the match wasn't set in the octagon, they could have just ventured to one, like just something. But there was nothing. It was a match that was built around a ropeless ring.
yeah.
I like the setup. I like the lighting, the camera work. That's all fine. WWE do not have an issue with that side of things. It's just trying to do these real shoot fights, like, doesn't translate to wrestling. And the only time that it did was the fight pit. And I don't mean the Rollins one. I mean the other one, Thatcher and Riddle, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
In NXT. Because that was sick. Because Thatcher is a very good wrestler. He's a very good grappler.
Yeah.
But again, Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice have the background of MMA, striking and that sort of thing, the mixed martial arts side of things, which made it better. But I'm watching this match thinking there's a couple of times that they could have just called it KO right there and then. But they never did, because that's the issue of scripted combat.
Yeah. Predetermined fight. He has to go. It has to go the time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just. I mean, go on. Give your opinion before I continue, because I'm rambling.
I rated it. It was very, very good match. I agree. The little thing for me, is the fact that they didn't do it in an octagon. But I don't know. Is that's the sound. Is the octagon trademark to UFC?
It can't be.
I don't know.
But even if it is, they're in a UFC building, which means UFC have allowed it to happen, and they're in a partnership with WWE under the umbrella TKO thing. Was it Endeavor? I forget which one it is, but
TKO, yeah. I mean, but I agree. There's a few moments where you thought it was over, and you probably should have been.
Mm-hmm.
When it might have just been the selling. I don't know, because it seemed as though this was a legit fight. It was just a straight up scrap, which I'm all for.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me that's the thing that's missing with the UFC in general, is that I understand the scrapping bit. So when they get on the mat and they could do these, I don't necessarily understand the ground game too much. But when it's a scrap, I'm into it, and this was that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad they specified that it was a TKO and not a knockout like they did in the last Underground with Natalia and Lola. This was a TKO because Shayna was still protecting herself.
Oh,
Even though it looked like
was it TKO?
Or referee stoppage, so I'm guessing TKO.
I thought it was KO. Maybe
I
that's
know, I
different.
know referee stoppage
Yeah.
because I'm only going on that because of Shayna getting up straight away.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I mean, dang, yeah, Lola's legit.
Yeah.
Like she's legit. Like
Yeah.
give her all the belts.
I'm glad you finally seen the light.
like,
like I'm pretty
mate,
sure. Since I started this show squared, I have sung the praises of Lola Vice every time I've seen her. Like she is phenomenal. Like, and not to infringe AJ Styles or anything, but like she has the legitness in her background, and she translates that to the WWE world. So, and this is a big win. Like, this is a big win for her against someone like Shayna, who is a certified former UFC competitor. Like,
yeah,
but I do have to leave a comment here as well. Like, I did write this down because I wanted to make a note of it. Remember that time in NXT history where Shayna Baszler was the Queen of Spades? She was a champion, a dominant submission machine, submitting people, breaking limbs left, right, and centre. I kind of wish we'd seen that side of Shayna here. Like, she should have been relentless. And honest, I'm not saying break a limb. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But if we just seen more ruthless aggression, to use the WWE term, like she could have. I don't know. I feel like if she shown that and maybe lost that way, that would have been fine. But she sort of has an uneventful impact here. Puts over Lola, great, but she's going to go back to main roster now and a loser. Like she lost to an NXT person. Like she lost in her wheelhouse to an NXT person.
yeah. No, I thought it was a triple threat tag team title match for the women's tag titles on Clash, but I think it was, but now it's just straight up 2-on-2.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then whatever his name removed two of them.
Probably because she lost.
But yeah, I'm assuming she's gonna be. I'm assuming at this point I've written that she's gonna be Conor Jordan's first challenger for North American title. But again, it just seems like a bit of a waste. Shayna could have won this, rejuvenated the Queen of Spades again, brought her back to the main roster, won the world title from Bailey, or who's the Raw champion?
Liv.
It is Liv, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimately,
Honestly.
she is so forgettable as champion because she's just doing stuff with Dom. Like that's all I picture.
No, there may be other reasons, but I'm a big Liv Morgan fan. Like, there's a pretty obvious reason why, but beyond that, I back Liv Morgan. Like, I've been a fan of her since her NXT days. I didn't really watch NXT that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Liv Morgan, and it's because for me, I had a great Saturday when Liv won the title because Man United just won the FA Cup, and then Liv Morgan wins the Women's Championship. Like, yes, let's go. Let's have a beer.
Yeah. So now you're probably about hated Dominic Mysterio right now.
Can't stand him.
But now it's even
Didn't like
worse.
him in the first case. Yeah, didn't like him in the first case. Like, but I don't post on the social media because I don't want to sound like a creep.
No, that's fair. Except
Like,
now now you're doing it on YouTube video. No, on Twitch.
oh, mate.
But no, like I said, I don't know. I kind of wish Shayna had just won this because it makes her more legitimate, and Lola didn't necessarily need the win, and I get it's big for Lola, but I can't help but feel that Lola's gonna lose next, which was a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pity.
let's refer to good old Dave Meltzer, who rated the match 3 3/4. So he really enjoyed it.
Would have been 6 if it was in Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, or the Nippon Budokan.
No, I know there just wasn't enough super kicks in there.
That's the main issue, of course.
Come on.
What else could it have been?
I know. Honestly.
Not enough Super Party, not enough Melter drivers.
Just
right.
Honestly.
So moving on from that, backstage, Kalani Jordan celebrates a title win with I was a convicted felon, with potential felon Sexy Red and her entourage or something. She twerks, Kalani dances, and then Sexy Red invites Kalani out for some after show partying. When nothing is not thorough.
That's one busy after party.
Yeah, you get to an airport brawl and.
That's yeah. Afters.
Yep, I feel bad for Kalani.
Oh.
So we move on swiftly to the NXT North American Championship Triple Threat match. Wesley, Joe Coffey, and champion Obafemi. Predictions. I know I said Obafemi for this, and I believe you said Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
So Oba wins with the pop-up powerbomb onto Joe Coffey. I rated this 4 stars. Obafemi. Fucking hell. Like, I came to the realization when I was watching it, and I wrote this down, that I think Femi was what WWE wanted from Omos when they signed Omos.
Not a bad shout.
It's like they were like, big guy, big young guy who can do big guy things, and then Omos was like, yeah, giant ninja.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about the ninja stuff.
He was the giant ninja for Akira
Oh.
Tozawa.
Oh, I forgot that.
Oh. But yeah, Ovemi. The dude has basically everything you want for a star. He has presence, strength, speed, charisma. The guy's got everything you want, and he's probably like late 20s. I don't know his age, but he looks young, and he's got a lot of years ahead of him. And he's already got a very solid base to go off here in NXT, and the matches he's having with people like Joe Coffey, like fucking Josh Briggs, Dijak, Wesley, Brooks Jensen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mate.
This guy should beat Trick Williams for the world title and just hold both titles.
Yeah. Why the hell not?
Every time I see matches like this, I get blown away. I can't understand how someone like him exists.
It's
he,
next level stuff.
I can't I rate it 4 stars, but I might as well rate it 5. I can't fault the match. I'm not even sure why I rated 4 stars, not 5. In all honesty, There's obviously a version of. There's obviously, as I'm writing these notes live, I clearly thought something was wrong with it, but I didn't note it down. Um, this was, originally it was meant to be as well, reportedly the four-way. So, over me, Wesley, Ivar, and Josh Briggs, and then they brought in Joe Coffey for whatever reason, and it made it a much better match because it wasn't Wesley and three giant dudes. It was Wesley, the smaller dude, Joe Coffey, the middle dude, and over me, the big dude. Like, like big, little, and large. It's, I don't know. Like at this point, I even wrote down notable spots, and I don't do that normally. I've got overthrowing Wesley 20 foot into the air onto Joe Coffey. I've got overcatching Wesley's tope with a powerbomb into Joe Coffey. I've got Femi catching Wesley's Meteora into a release powerbomb, which, to be fair, that looked dangerous because the way Wes landed on his spine.
Yeah.
And after all this, and I was originally against it, but I think I want to see a Wesley and Femi singles match. I want to see the 1v1, and I know we probably will still get that at some point. I want to see it like at Heatwave. I want it to be the next thing for Femi, the one-on-one match with Wesley, and then that will send Wesley to the main roster or to Trick Williams or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, honestly, you cannot fault the match in any way. I'm not the biggest Joe Coffey fan, but objectively, he's very good. And in that, I said it at, what was it, Stand and Deliver? About Oba, one word, and that's aura.
yeah,
Because my goodness, he could very well go down as the most dominant North American champion. When you look at them, it doesn't feel like it's been going on quite very long, but it's been quite lengthy. But it doesn't feel like it's been going on for a while. Still feels new. I mean, what? And you look at the matches as well against the biggest man on the roster, and sometimes two of them at the same time. Like, just I said it when I first saw him. He might be the most, so far anyway, the most successful NIL. I don't know what the word is. Graduate? Is that the right word?
yeah.
Like, just wow. Like, it's not very often you get a big man come along like this and do what he's doing.
Yeah, precisely. And I think on that point about him being a bigger man, I like initially like you go through the history of like big men in wrestling, and my favorite of all time, but of big men, is Vader. I think he has so much upside to him, despite being the size he was. And over me, despite being very early in his career, might actually shoot past Vader in regards to I prefer him as the big man sort of thing. Like obviously Vader has longevity, which is why at this moment in time he's not there yet. But Femi has potential to overshoot past Vader in my ranking of like big men in wrestling.
I mean, I'd say he's the best big man in wrestling right now.
Oh yeah, right now, yeah.
1,000%. And just I want to see. I do. I'm with you. I want to see the singles match with Oba and Wesley, just because we've never really had that with Oba's run.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, I'm all good with it.
Yeah,
Do it,
I
but
am. I am also
still.
all good with it.
Don't waste the win then. And just, I don't know if you guys can hear, but for some reason someone's firing off fireworks at the back of my house, so hopefully you can't hear that.
I can't hear that, so I don't think the stream can.
Good.
So yeah, after that amazing match. Also, no, I should say, Uncle Dave rated it 3.25. So I don't know.
I could go on a full rant about Meltzer, but I ain't got the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
No one's got time for that.
We'll do that for another video because I can have a video idea.
Or I mean, I think I'm already blocked by him anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Why not? So give us a chance to do it.
Yeah.
But
if you get blocked by him, so where is a badge of honor?
Exactly. Yeah. We ain't banned yet by him, by Cornette, nothing like that. So.
Oh, I've got a funny story about Cornette. I'll tell you off air.
All right. So after this, we get confirmation that Wendy Chu is in fact returned to NXT and will be on NXT on Tuesday on TV. So that is pretty cool. For those fans of Wendy Chu out there, which I know you are because of her past.
Big fan of Wendy Chu.
We'll move on to the NXT Women's Championship match. We had challenger Jordynne Grace taking on champion Roxanne Perez. Prediction wise, I believe we both went Jordan.
Yeah.
And for those following at home, we were both wrong.
I'm really wrong.
Roxanne wins following interference from both Tatum Paxley and Ash by Elegance.
Yeah.
Jordan takes them both out and then counters. And then Roxanne counters Jordan's Juggernaut driver and hits the Pop Rocks for the 3 count. I rated this 4.25. So for me, this just outdid the men's triple threat. This was an amazing match. Like if you're not familiar with Jordynne Grace or Roxanne Perez, or I've written here, Roseanne Perez. Go check out this match in particular. Check out the men's triple threat and check out the women's title match as well. These were the 2 standout matches for me. That's slightly spoiler in the main event, but these 2 were amazing matches. As I said, 4.25 stars. Despite what we had, that was my match of the night. The 2 absolutely killed it. It was a war, and both women made it feel that way. The only reason I didn't rate it higher was because of the ending. It felt a little cheap. Having Tatum, hey, look, I've got a title, woohoo! It's really weird. She runs away like a schoolgirl. It's a really weird dynamic. She runs away and then sort of looks back at Jordan in the ring instead of just running away with it. And then out comes Ash by Elegance, which I don't really follow TNA, so you'll know better than I will. But I'm assuming she's in some sort of storyline with Jordynne Grace.
Kind of, but also kind of not. Basically, since her debut at Hard to Kill, Ash by Elegance has been at ringside for every one of Jordynne Grace's title matches.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense that she'd be in it, pop up NXT, but it's not for the Knockouts World title. So I don't know on that front. Mm-hmm. But oh my goodness, this match! I knew it was going to be a banger, but they delivered, and they delivered word on this. I mean, Jordan Grace lost a bit of her ear or her earlobe. Like, that's the second time it's happened, by the way.
What?
Like, it happened in TNA. Like, obviously TNA filmed like a month before. This happened 2 weeks ago on TNA. It was against.
Oh, it was recent.
I want to. Yeah, I want to see Marty Bell.
Right.
I think it's against Marty Bell. It's Jordan's earrings get stuck in the fishnets. Like it's happened twice. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. But I mean, but that counter from the juggernaut driver into like the cutter into the pop box,
Mhm.
exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed they didn't do it because as we went into way too much detail. And the last one is that it there's no harm in it. Like it doesn't really hurt anyone. It benefits, but the finish, yeah, it was. I get it. It had to protect Jordan.
Mhm.
I understand that, but I don't know if that was the way to do it necessarily.
Yeah.
Particularly
I.
the Ash by Liga.
Mhm.
A bit confusing.
Yeah. Firstly, I think it's confusing, and I think it's a little stupid the way it ended. Not the exchange between Roxanne and Jordan. I meant the outside stuff. Um, but also, doesn't it sort of fall into the weird, like, typical stupid baby face in that she let herself get distracted by Tatum taking the belt and then Ash by Elegance rather than focusing on Roxanne?
Yeah.
Because then, like she does that, it distracts her. She tries to hit her finisher on Roxanne. Roxanne's healed and prepared to counter this now. Like, she counters it, hits her finisher, wins. Like, to me, it doesn't protect Jordan more than it just makes her look stupid.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes, I understand if it is Tatum Paxley who shows up against all odds. I understand it why she took the title to set up that. But for Ash Barty to be the one to come out and take the title back, I felt they could use Gail Kim. Gail Kim was there,
Yeah.
so Gail could come out and said, "No, you're not taking this. It doesn't belong to you." And then Jordan wouldn't have to get involved. But then maybe Roxanne could have rolled her up and like got the tights or something, or held the rope.
Yeah.
Like it could have. It's. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think this is the right
Yeah.
call
I
for the finish.
So there's a line that Roxanne says about her title reign in her promos, and that she will do anything to keep her title. She'll always find a way to retain. So I need some sort of explanation as to why Ash is there. And I feel like if she says something like, "Oh, I was hired, not hired, but maybe I was invited by Roxanne to be there."
Uh, I mean, I think she kind of did have sort of some sort of explanation in that she was a mentor to Kalani Jordan. Maybe she wanted to be there for her big title match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ash wasn't.
Like,
Ash wasn't the mentor to Kalani Jordan.
or they had a partnership thing.
No, but when Ash is what I'm saying.
Okay, Dana Brooke,
There you go.
which I don't know if Vic Joseph like genuinely forgot or like said it just so people would recognize her
Mhm.
because I'm curious on that one, but
He's done that twice now. Like he did it with Ethan
yeah.
Page as well.
Oh yeah, it wasn't here in AE. Yeah,
Yeah. So I feel like it's intentional at this point.
yeah.
Hey, isn't that Dana? I mean, Ash Pilot.
And TNA Superstar. By the way, I don't like when they say TNA Superstar.
Yeah,
Like, it's TNA wrestler.
yeah.
Like, that's not what. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it because we'll spend way too much time. We've got another thing to cover. But um, of Tom Hannafin when he first came to TNA, like I know he struggled to get out of calling the TNA wrestlers superstars, and he was told many times that he didn't have to. I don't really like it because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like the TNA fan of me, like no, they're wrestlers. They're not superstars. They're wrestlers. And they're phasing that out a bit more, but like
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think that's probably more to do with like it's like a WWEism because
yeah,
like they don't say superstar in AEW or Ring of Honor or New Japan or CMLL, AAA, whatever. They don't say superstar unless that's the gimmick. You know, like oh I'm a superstar. Like they're always wrestlers. They're pro wrestlers. They're luchadors, whatever. They're I think it's WWEism, which is why like you, there's a lot of fans who don't like the term superstar because it's a very WWE term, and
uh,
in the same way, like TNA started adopting PLE, like
yeah.
it's a WWE term because elsewhere they're still pay per views, and I feel that's part of the TNA WWE partnership.
I mean, I think TNA started calling them PLEs when Endeavor started to run the TNA Plus app.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe it's all connected in some weird way.
Yeah, I don't mind the term PLE. It's because it's what it is.
Yeah, I'm used to it now. It's just at the time I wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
um, But as we move on though from that amazing match, backstage, Wesley is angry that he didn't win the North American title, but he's attacked by Gallus. So I guess we're gonna be seeing that direction for the future. And now, we move on to the final match and the main event of NXT Battleground for the NXT Championship. Ethan Page and champion Trick Williams. Oh, sorry, Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace was rated 3 3/4 by Meltzer.
Oh, we might have to do another video on Meltzer, because that is just
It's a bit low, isn't
ah
it? It's a bit low. So he
yeah.
rated. Where is it? He rated it the same as the Underground match. So,
Come on.
so yeah, Ethan Page and Trick Williams. I believe we both had Trick retaining.
No, so I went all TNA. So I
Oh,
went
you
Ethan Page.
did. You went Ethan Page, yeah. In hindsight,
Yeah,
why?
don't know. I really
So,
don't know why.
uh, Trick wins and retains with the trick. It's called the Trick Shot. His high knee strike. And my first note here is fuck me, Ethan Page's new theme song. It's so bad. Like, there's been memes
Yeah.
going around over the last few weeks of, oh, Death Rebel themes are so bad. Like, look, here's Stone Cold's theme if it was done by Death Rebel. Or here's Undertaker's theme if it was done by Death Rebel. Right? And the first thing you hear on Ethan Page's new theme is Ego. And then it plays like some generic rock. And then it's like, Ego. Ego. Ego.
So bad.
Like,
Like,
there's a banger theme in TNA, a banger theme in AEW.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's it's basically Josh Alexander's theme in TNA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, North.
Like I miss the North. I miss the North.
Yeah, that was so good. Longest reigning TNA World Tag Team Champions.
Mm-hmm.
Those.
But speaking of themes as well, because I'm a huge theme advocate in pro wrestling. Like the theme makes your entrance. It kind of makes you as a pro wrestler. I can't get over the fact that Trick Williams' theme it's so empty. Like if the fans weren't chanting
Yeah.
"Whoop that trick," his theme is just, you know, and
Yeah.
then it's just do 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 do. It, there's nothing to it. It relies on fans chanting.
Yeah. It, then just to say on the theme thing, we have Jordan Grace's theme, which, yeah, although at the start of it you go holler if you hear me, because it's just you hear the sirens, you can't, I can't help it not.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like that's a theme for a juggernaut.
Yeah,
Then you got ego. That doesn't fit what Ethan Page is doing. He's
but
just
the
saying
worst,
his nickname.
it sounded like the meme of a Death Rebel song.
Oh, they just don't get it, do they?
No, no, they do not.
I know it's wrong with the Death Rebel themes. They have to have a catchphrase at the start.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles, they don't want none. And then you got Ethan Page. It's
Could you
silly.
imagine if like Styles' theme or his new theme started with like phenomena?
Oh, oh.
Oh,
Why don't they speak to TNA and get ready to fly?
yeah, literally. Lit- there's I don't know. There's so many like meme themes you could do for so many wrestlers. Like you could have like
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes coming out to HIM, HIM.
Oh, awful, 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 awful.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of awful, we had the match. I rated it 2.5 stars. It was decent, I guess. It definitely wasn't main event material. Um, I'd maybe put this in between the men's North American title and the women's title. I would have made this like the break match between the dual threat and the women's title. Um, it was so dry and cut, so cut and dry. Sorry, who was like winning this match, and I think most of the crowd had checked out by the time this
Yeah.
match came around. It was an NXT TV level match that was treated like it was a PLE main event because they made Ethan Page a bigger deal than what he actually is, and it's easy to do that because WWE are, you know, threatened or whatever the word is for how they feel about AEW, and it's easy to get that confused in that Ethan Page is a signed guy from AEW, yes, but he's not a big star. At least from AEW to WWE, he's not. Like before AEW, big TNA guy comes to AEW, teams with Scorpio Sky, you know, great stuff. Men of the Year, brilliant stuff. After that comes this weird sort of limbo purgatory for Ethan Page in AEW. Comes to NXT, and immediately gets a world title match, and he's not a big enough name for an instant world title match. Like if it was
Yeah.
the other half of the North, that'd be a different story.
They can keep their hands off.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that.
Now, if we can have Uncle Alan, they can have Josh.
Oh, but yeah, like this was so bad that I actually made a note here that the program that I suggested a few weeks back between Trick Williams and Karrion Kross would have been a better main event here than what we got.
I.
I keep saying it, but I keep saying it was a bad match. I don't mean it like that. I mean it in just regards to the way it was booked. And I think I'm just salty because it wasn't the women's match that main evented.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, you've got to realize Trick has limits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my what I thought about this match was, I was just starting to get into it, then it was over.
Yeah.
Like, just I mean the spot on the announce table. But okay, now if I can keep building from this, they got back in the ring. It was over.
Yeah.
Like it's literally over. Like 5 minutes later, less than 5 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
It. Oh, that's my issue with this Trick reign. It's there's when you're a champion, a face of a brand, you can't have TV time level matches
Mm-hmm.
on the main event of a PLE
Yeah,
or
I agree.
pay per view. Like this was supposed to be like huge for wrestling, huge for as for the whole of wrestling. You know, you've got crossover matches, you've got new champions being crowned, you've got like, two huge stars from MMA having a fight, and then that's how it ends. It they. I understand WWE want to have their, NXT want to have their biggest title at main event, but at some point you have to realize, well, you have to think of what's going to be the better match.
Mm-hmm.
And if they had gone with the women's title in the main event, and would and then Tatum Paxley steals the title and Ash Barty stops her, is that slightly dampen the main event? It's something they have to assess again. But
I feel
that's my
like
issue with Trick Williams.
yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a silent agenda against how women main event shows because it's something that we almost consistently do. In that the men's title match, the men's world title match, I should say, is outperformed by the women's world title match.
Yeah.
And this is a constant thing. Like, other than when Ilya was champion, because Ilya didn't know how to have a bad match. Like, and even before that, Carmelo as well didn't know how to have a bad match. Like, matches that, Lyra had, that Becky had, that Tiffany had. Like, these were all good matches. And now we're in an era with Roxanne outperforming consistently to Trick. And it's because exactly you're saying, Trick has his limits. And we keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it, NXT is not a third brand, it's a developmental brand. So, again, it makes sense to have characters who are in development or who aren't as well tuned or whatever, however you want to word it. But there comes a point where, despite the ending of Roxanne and Jordan, that should have main evented. Like the order of the card was fine, except the last two matches. Like Roxanne and Jordan should have main evented. Trick and Ethan should have been the break match between the men's North American and the women's world title.
Yeah, you've you got go through the entire card. Which match had the most hype? It was the women's title match
Mm-hmm.
because of what it represented. It was like, it baffles me that they didn't put it in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just not. When you have someone who clearly still is learning, you can't. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a knobhead here, but like, can you rely on them to put on a banger in the main event? If you can't, maybe it's time to just drop them down the card a little bit. I'm not saying put them on the freaking pre-show,
Yeah.
but just be realistic of what these people are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne, like, despite being so young, is ready for the main roster.
Yeah. Like, she literally lives her nickname, the Prodigy.
Yeah,
She is
and
amazing, and she's so young. It it's the same thing with Tiffany Stratton. She's so young and so good.
yeah,
Like WWE are building a future division here of female wrestlers who are going to take the company forward in the coming years. Like
and
people will revel over a WrestleMania main event of Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne Perez. Like that will be a
yeah,
great Mania match.
but they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just their in-ring stuff; it's their character. And Trick arguably has the character side of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just then, like, you need to be realistic.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to come across as I'm being disrespectful or I'm being, as you said, like a knobhead. I don't want to come across that way, but sometimes I have to because sometimes there has to be a hard hitting home truth. To
Mm.
that's Fraser's talk show. I don't know why I went with that, but Trick Williams was the sideman. He was the what's the word? The sidekick to Carmelo Hayes for a good chunk
Yeah,
of his NXT stuff. And when you had that storyline building of Trick gonna get out of Carmelo's shadow and whatever, Trick wins North American title, loses it first defense. Like he could have had a longer reign with that to build something out of that, build more tension
yeah,
with him and Carmelo. Like there was tensions building to a match between him and Carmelo that fell flat. And then they redid the match on NXT TV, and then that also fell flat. Like, if you can't
yeah.
have a good match with Carmelo Hayes, the issue is not Carmelo Hayes. The issue might be you. And again,
Uh,
NXT developmental. I'm not saying like Craig said earlier. I'm not saying back to catering or back to the pre-show or whatever. Just probably not world champ material at the moment. Like down the line, you could absolutely be the guy.
yeah.
You're over. You're over. You're over with the crowds. People do like you. It's just as a world champion, you're not that fulfilling. You're not that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like
uh,
compare it. Like
it
you've
is.
got. So God.
I say it is that, and that they saw Trick was getting over, and immediately jumped into the main event and the champion.
Yeah.
There's some steps in between they need to take before that should have happened.
Yeah. And it's something that they can fix. I don't think they will fix it because speaking realistically, I don't know who's dethroning Trick. There's no one who I can see that's immediately. there's, there's no one that I can see that's immediately set up to take the title from Trick.
Yeah. Yeah, it. Then he's maybe having to be a workhorse champion. Every time he's in that ring, he's defending that title. Maybe that's the way around it. I don't know.
Like, do you remember the John Cena US Open Challenge on Raw?
Yeah.
Like Cena, obviously Cena was a great wrestler, very adaptable, can adapt to most styles, if not any style of wrestling. But something like that, an open challenge, face all comers. You know, you can fight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like Luke Gallows 1 week or something like that. Like just like you've got to just have more experience, build yourself up, and ultimately have an interesting story because Ethan Page wasn't that story. Like, I would argue there's something with Noam Dar,
Yeah.
potentially. Like, and Noam Dar is
Definitely.
probably the closest guy we've got to taking a title from Trick Williams. But I don't think he will.
Yeah. And it's.
It's really a catch-22 situation here because who you spend so much time building Trick Williams to the point where he's world champion that you've ignored practically everyone else. Like, or the ones that were there have gone to the main roster now. Like, Dijak would have been a great choice to be a world champion in NXT.
Yeah.
And he's now gone to Raw to do Twitter posting. Like,
Feuding with streamers.
feuding with who was it? Sandy Zap, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a real shame to see what it is, but that is what brings an end to Battleground. Overall, good card, good matches all round, except the main event.
Yeah. The card placement wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah, precisely. I think the opener, good choice. With leather match. After that, I don't know where I would have gone. Probably would have kept the tag titles after that. Underground, I don't know if it fit the position it had. Like, if this is a 6 match card, right? So you can split that into 2 halves. I could probably have Trick and Ethan as the 3rd match of the night, being that the first half main event.
Yeah.
And then you could have Roxanne and Jordan main event the second half. But then you probably want to have Femi, Coffee, and Lee as the opener of second half. So the 4th match, that's fine. And then the 5th match being Underground. And then have that break. So you have Ring, not the Ring, Ring.
Yeah. Completely different sides of the coin.
Yeah. How would you reorganize it if you had that power?
Yeah, I definitely start off with a ladder match
Mm-hmm.
because that's just a good way to open a show. Yeah, like you had to stick with the tag team match after the ladder match, and maybe
So
yeah,
it was Lola Shayna next on the actual card.
yeah, I would probably have to go with. Nah, then maybe I'd go with the triple threat, and then have underground men's title, women's title. Because I don't think it's fair to drop so that far on the card, but
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be the main event. Especially when you're coming off a match like the Underground, have a little palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fair. And also the way again we'll come to the crowd of it as well. Like the crowd was set up for disaster. Like you had match, like good match, kind of match, but it was all right. Good match, great match, and then flatline. Like the crowd was so hyped after the Triple Threat men's match and then the women's title that there wasn't enough gas in the tank for Trick and Ethan, which is what it is. Meltzer rated it 2.25. So Meltzer's correct.
Unfortunately, yes.
But no, with that in the books, that is Battleground done, and we will try and do a bit more speedy for TV because we've already been going for about an hour and a half of just Battleground talking.
Okay.
We got just until over an hour basically until the pre-show of TNA.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
NXT, 11th of June 2024. We kick things off with the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Kalani Jordan. Kalani gives a nice heartfelt promo about the title and what it means to her. There's no history, no lineage, so it's Kalani's time and Kalani's reign to shine. Because no one does it like Lani. It's still cheesy. It's still so cheesy. Out comes Gina Parker, who compares her to a squirrel, and that she wants the Women's North American title. She mentions Michin by name, and of course, out comes Michin, who attacks Gina Parker. We get a line from Vic Joseph, as you just referenced to. He said, "Say her name, and she shall appear." Very.
It's happening.
Very tongue in cheek there. And of course, this is the next match, the first match of the night, which is between Michin and Jada Parker. My only note of the match is that Jada does the James Harden downwards pump taunt. she does her really unique rear tackle in the corner on Michin, and then does the whole
Yeah.
I like that. But ultimately, Michin wins with the O'Connor roll-up, following an attempt from Jada to the chair, which is thwarted by the OC. So we get the heel faction doing a face run-in for their face counterpart.
Yeah. Make it make sense.
As a wise man once said, you can't apply logic to pro wrestling.
I thought it was a great match. My favourite Jada Parker match so far.
Yeah.
Like that hip check, which sent Mia Michin out of the ring. Mm-hmm. Mate, I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. And yeah, I mean, AOC making the save, Michin getting the roll up, and for some unknown reason, that leaves a little bit on Jada. She pins her. Just for no other reason.
Yeah, I didn't include that for a reason, but
Yeah. That's why I made it PG.
Thank you. Yes.
That's a bit on.
Like, we're past PG with the amount of swearing I've been doing, but
Excuse me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was 3 stars. I rated it. Michin shows her veteran ability, and Jada shows off her toughness in what was a hard-fought contest. It's good to see that Michin's not been forgotten because she's part of the OC. So,
Great.
So does this mean that they're now faces or they heels? Because Jada's a heel because OTM are heels. So, but AJ's also a heel, and Gaz and Anderson hang out with AJ. So are they heels, or are they helping Mishin, who's a face, but she's not a heel? And the answer's 42.
I don't know. I mean, no, the answer's 33 and 33 and 1/3.
Of course, sorry. Yeah, I didn't account for the 25% chance.
It's baffling, but because I would say that the OC are the cool bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they try to be the cool bad guys.
Okay.
Because Bullet Club is very much that.
Yeah.
The OC, but AJ is just a straight up heel. So, yeah, I don't know what I want to say. Yeah, I like the match.
I don't understand it. But regardless, I digress. We move on. We get a social media post of the new Catch Republic saying that they'll be in Wesley's corner because Wesley needs backup, and instead of utilizing the TNA connection, Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne here.
Instead of that, it's that.
It's cool, but you could have had Myron Reed, you could have had Zachary Wentz, you could have had Trey Miguel, you could have had, he who shall not be named, but we say his name, he appears. You could have had, you could have had Chris Bay, you could have had Ace Austin, you could have had anyone. You could have had Santina Morella. Yeah, like.
Oh.
It's a weird choice.
Fine. Fine.
I'm fine with it. It's just a bit of an odd choice. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, backstage, we're at Chase U. We're in the class. All the boys are here, but none of them can get along. Duke and Riley don't trust Ridge for good reason. Ridge is defending himself for good reason. Andre trying to keep it under control for good reason. But in comes Thea Hale while everyone's arguing, and she just shouts, she just screeches, and tells everyone to shut up. And everyone just goes quiet. She tells them all how it is. They all chase you. Everyone had their chance. Everyone's made a mistake at some point, and Chase U kept them in. Chase U embraced them. Chase U welcomed them into the fold, and they are not the family, but they're a family. So I guess Ridge Holland is part of Chase U officially now.
Yeah, looks that way. But I mean, if their hell comes in screaming, you gotta sit down.
Yeah, that's fair. And honestly, I'd much rather him being Chase U than him being involved in that Sean Spears stuff. So.
Oh, can you imagine?
We move on to tag match. Gallus, Joe and Mark Coffey, the brothers, and Wolfgang take on the new Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and Wes Lee. Gallus win with the all the best for the bells from Joe Coffey onto Wes Lee.
Brutal.
I rated this 3.25 stars. It was a surprising. I was tired when I wrote this. This was a surprisingly good math. A good match. I never expect too much from Gallus in these settings because Gallus have proven that Coffey's good. The other two not so much. But this match here, plenty of spots, plenty of chaos, and it was just a lot of fun. A very good 6-man tag here. It's fun reading. It's fun reading your notes back when you've written a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, really good match. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot out of Gallus because, but I mean, I reckon in the next month that we're gonna get anyway. That's what they do. Yeah. Obviously wanted it to be the Rascals, but can understand why it wasn't. And yeah, the finish, like Wes sold his ass off, and that, like, yeah, I can't fault it. Very good 6-man tag.
Yeah, and I think like for me particularly, like the result was very surprising, and it's not because I didn't expect anything from Gallus, it's because I didn't think they were going to win here.
No, yeah, I didn't either.
I just assumed.
But it'd be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of what happens next, we move on to backstage. It's Malik Blade and Idris Enofe, and they're worried about Brindley Reese's match with the returning Wendy Chu. Brindley insists. I mean, no typo here. Brindley insists that she'll be fine, and that the match will be fun. Before cartwheeling out the scene. We love Brindley Reese. She's a little bubbly ball personality that isn't Thea Hale.
Yeah. It's can be difficult to tell sometimes.
But that could be a little team. Thea Hale and Brindley Reese.
Yeah. Just yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm into this. Malik and Idris thing. The bad luck thing. I like it. It's silly, but I like it.
Mm-hmm. And that is how you surprise your podcast co-host or guest. Who was clearly not ready to give any sort of opinion on that segment.
I just like it. It's silly.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's a lot of fun. And wrestling hasn't always got to be serious. Wrestling can be fun. Speaking of fun, it's time for Brindley Reese's match against Wendy Chu. Wendy's got a new look.
Yeah.
New music. It's almost like they've taken a bit of inspiration from the Eldritch Gods. If you're familiar with that, I don't know. Like basically, there's the thought that Cthulhu or Azathoth are in a constant slumber or sleep, and when they awaken, the world ceases to exist. Like we're all figments of their imagination and stuff like that. And I don't know. To me, I got vibes of that from Wendy Chu here. It's like all this time in NXT, she's been sleepy. She's been tired. She's been, very sort of. That's what sort of falls asleep. Like now she's awoken and she's kind of evil, kind of possessed. Kind of like,
yeah,
dare I say, like influenced by some other force.
Yeah, it's. I do like this type of character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, But again, it's like with everything in wrestling. If it's done right, it's really good.
Yeah.
And this has a lot of potential.
It
And
does. Yeah.
I mean, of course, like as soon as it happened, obviously, there's a lot of breaks on NXT. So many breaks.
Oh yeah.
But I was scrolling through socials during the break during this match, and of course, about 6 or 7 people said that she should be teaming with Su Young.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting, but just because they have this kind of character doesn't mean they should be teaming together. Like, it's not the same thing. But
Craig,
yeah,
the prohibited portal.
I didn't even know if Su Young still signed to TNA. Yeah, it may not be. The portal might have nothing to do with it. But yeah,
The band border.
but just put it on that topic. Su Young is one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, just put that out there. She's so funny. But yeah, a good match to show us what this new Wendy Chu is all about.
Yeah,
Kind of.
precisely.
We haven't seen full yet, but
Yeah,
we're getting it gives us a big idea of what she's capable of.
Mm-hmm. Like, so Wendy wins with the body scissors submission. I rate it 1.5 stars because it was basically just a squash match to showcase what Wendy can do again, like to showcase what this new form of Wendy can do. So it did what it meant to do. Ultimately, we'll see more Wendy, and it's just a matter of when rather than if she'll target Kalani, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I
Down for it.
don't know. Kalani needs heels to face for the title.
Yeah.
So we go to the famously dreaded NXT parking lot for a Roxanne Perez interview. She picks up Jordan Grace for the PLE match, and she'll be addressing the state of the women's division later on. In comes Mr. Stone, who attempts to find out what Roxanne's going to comment on, and then Roxanne just tells him to wait.
Mm.
It was so weird. It's like Mr. Stone is like some sort of like lapdog for Ava, and he's like, just tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you're gonna say. Go on, tell me. Go on, tell me. Please tell me. Please, Roxanne, please tell me. And it's just
Yeah.
we go back to the ring, and what is this? It's Cody. I didn't even realize Cody was booked for this show.
Oh dang.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was always on social media, but I just never caught that on my
Yeah.
feed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cody's here. He cuts a promo about Scotland and also because of about AJ Styles. But out comes Trick Williams. Trick compares their careers and has a question for Cody. How do you deal with the new situation of being champion? A question that he should have been asking, like, for how long has it been? 2 months?
Yeah.
Longer
Wow.
than
Yeah.
that? Like,
A
why
lot
is he
longer.
only just asking us now? Anyway, Cody replies a bit cryptically, referring to another mountain that Trick may need to climb. Cody tells him that he's been given authority to reveal who Trick's next challenger will be. Okay. It's Cody! No, it's not Cody. Trick's next challenger will be decided in a 25-man over-the-top rope battle royal. My favourite kind of match. Thank you, Cody. But there is mention of different locker rooms that will be involved in this battle royal. Does that mean that we'll see an appearance from other TNA talent? Or is it just Raw and SmackDown? Because that is different locker rooms, technically.
I'm thinking we'll get 3 TNA guys in this match. Joe Hendry, Steve Macklin, and so I would have said Moose, but this, like a couple of days ago, Moose said that he doesn't think the NXT guys are on his level.
Right, and who was that again? Who said that?
Moose. Moose. I mean, Matt Hardy's teasing it. No, she didn't have anything from. But I think these 3.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I thought Trick was going to say his name. Should have. People want it. People, there's signs there.
The thing is, though, you can't say his name without him appearing. You know, so they can't take that risk.
But he was in Orlando, training with Ace Steel.
There you go.
Ace Steel's now his manager.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a match tonight. Is Ace Steel's in his corner.
But hopefully there's no dogs involved in that match.
TNA management should be for life.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming TNA is involved in some extent of this, and honestly, there's too much media hype on the guy whose name we can't mention, otherwise he will appear. For him to be in the Battle Royal, because he has to win it. If he's in it, he has to win it. And then that means we're gonna get Trick Williams and the guy who we can't mention because he will appear if we say his name at probably Heatwave.
I mean, he was trending, like during NXT.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible what he's done, and the fact that people took signs to NXT with his name on it,
Mm-hmm.
and chanting "We Believe." Got it.
Yeah.
Wrestling's mental. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I would honestly have it as it's a Battle Royal, right? So everyone's in the ring already. So have what you normally do, like you have your 17 or 18 already in the ring, and you have like these separate entries for some people who they show on TV. Have him come out last.
Yeah.
And have that. Maybe even start the match with 24 people. And then as they're fighting, have him come out last.
But thing is, someone's gonna need to say his name. Someone has to.
Commentary. Or.
But how are they gonna work that in?
If there's others from TNA in the ring already, they can get a mic and just say, "Oh, what if it's like $top or something like that?"
See, he was asked about that, and he said it'd be really weird if that happened. Which it would, considering he's not the digital media champion.
Yeah.
But I'd also be down for it because and as much as I don't like the bloke, like he's perfect for the DMC, so it makes sense for him to go.
It's just a Battle Royal anyway. It's not like a big like wrestling affair, like 5-star thing, like. But yeah, we got a lot of potential from this battle royal. That's to come up next week.
It got me when they announced it. Like, oh my god! So, like, I thought someone was gonna say it, but didn't. Boo.
Well, they can't say it, can they? Because if they say it, he will appear. So they can't. It'd be like, are you familiar? Are you familiar with the Kool-Aid Man in America?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you just say his name, and you just bust through a brick wall. Like,
Yeah.
but no.
Bring it up.
Before Cody can leave the ring, Trick invites him to the cookout, and Cody accepts the invitation.
Cool.
Cool. Moving on. Dante Chen is ready for the Singapore Cane match with Lexis King, and to prepare for it, he waxed things backstage with a Singapore Cane. Cool. In the locker room, Carly Bright is talking to others, and Wendy Chu is also there, just at her locker. Carly tries to talk to Wendy, and Wendy looks at her weird and then shuffles away. So, next week, we're getting Carly Bright and Wendy Chu in a match. That ain't confirmed or anything, I'm just assuming that she went to Ava to book the match.
Honestly, won't surprise me.
But now, it's time for the next match of the night. It's the Singapore Cane match. Dante Chen and Lexis King. Lexis makes his entrance and he's attacked during his entrance by Dante Chen. So it's time for the match to begin. And Lexis wins, following several hits with his own personal cane, and also hits the coronation with the cane as well. I rated this 3.25 stars. For a short match, it was only like 6 minutes. They did a lot. It was fun. They actually made use of the stipulation, and they were not holding back with these strikes with the canes. And this is easily the best match that Lexis has had in his entire NXT run so far. And if they keep this up, kudos to them. Don't I imagine putting Lexis in constant, kendo stick Singapore K matches is going to be a bit impractical.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. I enjoyed Alexis King match.
Yeah.
And it was mainly down to the stipulation, but like I said, they made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's a Singapore cane match, so surely the only weapons you could use is a Singapore cane.
Mm-hmm.
Lexis's cane isn't Singapore cane. I don't know. It's like how's that?
Maybe his cane is from Singapore.
Okay, I'll let him off then.
Maybe
Fine.
You never know.
I'll let him off.
But no, so Lexis King had Lexis's cane, but he's not from a Nexus.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
No, I'm not trying that. Backstage, Jason James here with Jasmine Nix, and they run into Cody, who gifts JC with his original mask during his dashing days. If I'm JC, I'm marking out. Like I am.
Yeah.
I am fangirling. Like I am completely. Oh my god! Are you sure? This means so much. Like.
Jasmine Nix basically was.
Yeah. Short but sweet. Really good.
I've been saying it for weeks about 2 weeks, that JC is dashing. And now,
literally, yeah.
and Cody must be watching.
He's watching. Sean's watching. Hunter's watching. Nick Khan is watching. Dana White is watching. Why not?
and Anthony Saccone, who is the Anthem president.
Oh, there you go.
So I know who it is now.
Before the next match, there's something a bit odd that they catch on camera this time. Vic and Booker are talking about Jason being given the mask, and a random arm reaches into the screen and grabs Vic. And it gets pulled away, assumed by some sort of security. And they played it off as nothing happened. Like, Booker and Vic, well, Booker was ready to defend Vic, like, within the inch of his life. But, like, afterwards they sort of went back to doing their job as if nothing happened. But, upon looking online, that was Brooks Jensen again.
Yeah.
So he's going a bit down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. I'm thinking he shows up tonight. Well, Saturday if you're Friday if you're watching this.
Yeah.
As it
More
airs.
likely, I'm assuming. But it seems
Yeah.
that he took the blue pill, and he found out just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Cha.
So initially, my
Interesting.
notes had this being written down as, "Oh, that arm was Tavian Heights. How odd, because he's now in the ring." But I changed it when I did my research. It was actually Brooks Jensen and not Tavian Heights. Because up next, it's Tavian Heights. He's in the match against the returning Eddie Thorpe. Tavian Heights is mainly known for Level Up. So if you've never seen him, that's why. Eddie Thorpe wins with an Impaler style DDT. I rated it 2 stars. It was okay. It was sub 5 minutes. And mainly to just showcase Eddie Thorpe and his return back to TV. Nothing particularly to shout about either in this match. Eddie's back. That's great to see. Tavian getting a chance here as well on main TV could be good for him. NXT seem to be putting a bit more stock now into their Level Up people. We're seeing a few appearances from Level Up guys and gals who are being given a chance on main TV now to actually showcase themselves in normally losing efforts, but chance to appear at least, so the fans start to see them, start to recognise them more.
Yeah.
Backstage, we have the NQCC. They're watching TV. Chai Dempsey wants Miles Bourne to try and get Tavian Heights because he is impressed by Tavian Heights. And then tensions build because Miles is not doing it for whatever reasons, and then Damon tries to defend Miles, in which case then Chai just turns on Damon, calling him out for losing 2-0 to Tony D'Angelo in the Heritage Cup Rules match. And eventually things all settle down. Miles goes and gets him. Capiche.
Capiche. Yeah.
Backstage.
Be interesting if they actually do it.
Also gone.
Be interesting to see if they actually do it and get Tavian Heights in NQCC's.
They need a fourth since they lost their other fourth.
Yeah.
So.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Backstage, we see Ava with Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner again. Stevie plays Tattletale and tells on Roxanne to Ava. She's just sitting there next to Ava. It's like, hey Ava, you should know that Roxanne's planning to do this, right?
Again.
It's
and
the absolute
like
goal of her. She expects some sort of reward. Like Ava's gonna be like, Oh, thank you so much, Stevie. I'm going to give you a women's title match now because you did that for me. It's such a basic thing, and it's done so well because I'm a little biased for Steve Turner, I think.
I get it. Like, it's great.
She's a little scam.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Ava then receives a phone call and asks both Stone and Stevie to clear the room. So, Julia? Julia. Or TNA. Or Scott D'Amore.
I'm thinking. I don't know why. I'm leaning more towards Hook.
Hook?
Yeah. I don't know why. I just got this feeling.
Can you imagine the weird batshit like world would be in of it if it Trip Williams as just Hook.
But I mean, even if it is TNA, I, I don't know, but wasn't this footage from social media of Ava on the phone to someone saying that she'd love to have him in NXT?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that same person.
Yeah.
Don't know who it is.
Could be
Like
Julia.
it though. But it have to be a Heatwave though, because isn't she injured?
I believe she's injured, but she's doing bookings again. So she's booked for Marigold.
Mm.
I can't remember who against now, off the top of my head, but she's booked for like the next Marigold show.
Yeah.
So who knows? But moving on now to the main event of the show, which is Javon Evans and Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears wins with a C4. I rated this 3 stars. Honestly, I'm surprised I enjoyed it for what it was. Shawn's a good wrestler, and when he has a chance to showcase himself and actually do what he does best, he can do just that. His gimmick at the moment is not the best, and with time, I'm sure we'll get more clarification on what he's doing. But with NXT in its rebuilding phase, it's clear that youth is one of their main priorities. Obviously, we've seen like so many young people come through NXT, and at the moment the roster is so young. And of course with Javon Evans, he's practically a teenager, like, and he's getting put in the main event of NXT TV against an established veteran like Shawn Spears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful for NXT's future. I really am. Like, there's a lot of good youth talents coming in, and a few years down the line, potential world champions, main eventers, and like the stars who are already within NXT, who I'm confident who would be a Mania level talent down the line. Like we said this earlier, like with Battleground, but like Roxanne Perez is one of those women one of the competitors that I believe would be in the main event of Mania a few years down the line.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, as far as this match, like, it's good for Javon to be getting this level of exposure on TV, because he's been on pretty regularly, pretty much every week. Maybe 1 week since his debut, proper TV debut, where he hasn't been on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be off TV this week considering he's got two broken ribs, but yeah.
Yeah.
And which, again, I said last week it's gonna get hurt, and literally a week later, he's hurt. Oh no, 3 days later he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, and just the image of the blood in his mouth. Oh, just not nice. I've had like a crack whip before, and just one is painful. Like, can't, can't really breathe in that much. You got to breathe through your nose. It's to have two. Yeah, it's like, and there's nothing you can do about it either, really.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not nice.
No, I can only imagine. Like the closest up into that is like a chest infection. That's about it.
Yeah, it's. Oh.
So after that main event, we go backstage. Nathan Frazier and Axiom are celebrating with the New Cash Republic when they're approached by the family. And tensions are risen as Nathan is a little too focused on the Heritage Cup trophy. Meanwhile, a future tag team title match seems to be in the works. Again.
A lot going on in one segment.
Yeah, I mean we got Nathan being a bit entranced again by the Heritage Cup trophy. You've got Axiom, who says his best friend won the won the Heritage trophy.
The first Heritage champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder what happened to that kid. No idea.
No idea.
Anyway, then we go backstage to a segment that's been all over Twitter since NXT aired. Cody is backstage, and he runs into Shawn Spears. And then he runs into Ethan Page. And then he runs into Lexis King. And they're all in the same scene, same pitch, same shot. And, you know, you can do the math as to what this is.
Honestly, it took me a while. Longer than it should have took me. Like, not until I saw, like, the it took me to click that though. I forgot that Lexus King was in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because he was just as a tag team guy, like, just trying to recreate his dad's tag team. Being real. But yeah, it took me a second until I saw the recreating the Spider-Man meme and Bully Ray calling it a dynamite scene.
It's, you know, I think it's all good and stuff, but, you know, that's giving AEW free reign to take a shot now.
Yeah, actually, you should have to leave a little jab here and there. Again, this is off topic, but I know AEW don't like having shots taken at them.
Yeah.
But this is during the TNA thing when they work with TNA, and TNA weren't allowed to say anything back to AEW. It was like Tony Khan put it in like an agreement. They can't say anything back to him. It's just a very I'm looking forward to Tony Khan. It's many words to describe Tony Khan. One of them's being a bit. I can do it. You don't. I can dish it out, but I can't take it.
Yeah. Of course, though, if you ask Mark Calloway, Tony Khan is not a leader. I don't
If you ask, Matthew Darian, he's not a leader. Like, no, he likes the powder a bit too much.
Oh, that's an allegation there. that is an accusation.
Allegedly. If you looked into his eyes more than once, there's something. There's definitely something.
But no, we move on to the final segment of the show. Roxanne Perez's state of address to the women's division of NXT. Roxanne proved at Battleground that there's levels to this division, and no one's on her level. And we're all finding out what we've already known. Roxanne then called out Ava because she says that Ava needs to give her gratitude for keeping the title in WWE and in NXT. You know, keeping it away from the evil invaders of TNA. So Ava comes out, talks about how Roxanne doesn't need the thanks, and that it's more about being a good champion, being a proper champion, not complaining, not demanding respect, not demanding gratitude. Just go out there, do your job. Roxanne complains that Ava always seems to find a way to make it about herself. But Roxanne's always ready and will always find a way to win. And then she says there is not one woman who can take the title from her. And it was that very convenient wording I found. Like, there is not one woman who can take the title away from me. Which to me indicates some sort of multi-person match, or triple threat, fatal four-way, etc.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, how comes JC Jane with Jasmine Nix, and JC's wearing Cody's mask over her own mask.
I mean, it makes sense, I suppose.
Oh, I loved it. It was so good. She came out and she was talking. The first thing I noticed was the weird shine on her face. I was like, what is that? And I was like, is she wearing two masks?
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a second. Oh.
But JC talked about being one of the main attractions on NXT before Roxanne was even signed. Mandy Rose coming back? Probably not. Out comes Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, who claim credit for the women's division being the way it is. Then the four of them start to corner Roxanne. But out comes the hero and the future of women's wrestling, my girl, Lola Vice. She talks about her underground win and how she's now the rightful NXT challenger for Roxanne. An offhand comment from Chikara results in her getting roundhouse kicked, and then all hell breaks loose. And interestingly enough, Lola and Roxanne work together to clear the ring. With the final shot of the show, seeing Roxanne clutching to her title tight, while Lola is looking straight at the title.
Yeah, give it the side eye.
Give it the side eye. So with that final bit, what is next for Roxanne Perez?
Probably Lola.
Yeah. I can see it being like Roxanne and Lola a heatwave, but not a clean finish.
Yeah.
Like JC is involved, or Lash is involved, or Jakara does, or whatever.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued by them.
Like the prospect of a Roxanne and Lola Vice match. To me, that's
Banger.
Yeah, to me that's a banger. But obviously we got the other side bits of this as well. JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, Lash Legend, Chikara Jackson. They were involved in this, and not to mention as well, where's Sol Ruka in all this?
Yeah.
She was nowhere on this show.
No. I think of that. A lot of ways they can go with this, and I'm intrigued to see what they do.
Absolutely, same here. But with that in mind, that does bring an end to NXT. We've been here for 2.25 hours. This is probably the longest like actual session we've done. Last week we were on for about 3 hours, but that was us just shit talking most of the time.
Yeah.
But we'll sign off and then we can go from there. So, that's where we're going to end the show squared. Be sure to check out Craig on his social media. On Twitter, he is Mr. Impact Craig on his Twitter, and I believe everywhere else that he's online. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
If you're so inclined, please give me a follow. I'm Depreezy on Twitter or X, which is just here. Our outlets as well on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, and of course our Twitch, which we're currently live on right now. I am not sure what our current sub count is. I didn't check beforehand. We were approaching 2K subs, which is absolutely insane. Thank you once again for the support you show channel. But other than that, as well with the video, please like, share, subscribe. Every little thing that you guys do is so helpful and is so appreciated because it just gets us out there more, and it gets us, more eyes, more fresher eyes, more opinions get roll through, more wrestling discussion, more etc. etc. It's so good to build a community like that. But with all that in mind, let's bring an end to this. I've been Dan. This has been Craig. And together we have been Show Squared. Peace.